All right. Hi, hello, good morning to all of you. Welcome to session 44 of Ask FinTree. Those of you who are online, I'll wait for a few seconds for people to join in. In the meanwhile, if you can confirm if the audio video is all right. Hi, Aditya, good morning. How are you doing today? Please confirm if the audio video is okay. Hi, Shreyash. All right, so I think शुरू करते हैं. Let us start. As I've been doing for some time, every session we will have some discussion on markets. At least I'll share what I've learned or what thought processes, and then we will have one main question per week. This week's question is finance career opportunities after the 12th standard, and then I will take some of the questions which are live or from the YouTube comments. All right. So let's start with a general market commentary. I discussed last week that RBI CRR rate cut and repo rate cut was net quite positive for the market. In general, what I've learned in last 10-15 years is you should never challenge a central bank, especially never challenge liquidity, right? You follow where the money is. And clearly, I feel that this newer regime that we are entering in, where money would be relatively easier, will provide a lot of positive for domestic industries. So this week I built a new position on one player which is into capital markets. I'll share the name, not a recommendation, but I bought sizable chunk for my size of portfolio. I bought one particular entity called Nuvama Wealth. I kind of really like the whole wealth management space. I feel that the ultra HNI segment of the market is growing quite rapidly, and therefore wealth management and all the capital market intermediaries, right? Especially all the businesses like depository, then your CDSL, CAMS, all the intermediaries. I think these guys will do well. The trick is going to be if you can get in at the right valuation, because a lot of these stories are already kind of look a little steep from valuation perspective. So if you can find something where valuation is reasonable, I think these are multi-year stories to play out. I like defense as a space, but I have not been able to find a stock or a business that I liked and at a good valuation. So I don't have any holdings right now. Love hospitals as a space. I think India has substantial under penetration in healthcare. So I have a couple of one or two stocks in healthcare. I'm still searching for more. Pharma looks okay. So overall, I think last week was a non-event week per se, apart from the unfortunate tragedy that happened in Ahmedabad. Otherwise, market-wise, there were no significant events. So the story remains intact. The uncertainty with respect to tariff is actually very significant, right? Because we don't really know if India turns out to be on the losing side with respect to tariff. So I'm being a little careful with businesses which have very significant export exposure. I'm trying to look for more inward-facing businesses. That's the general think of what I think about markets at the moment. And with this, I'll start with the main question for the week. We get this question we come across quite often. Today, I thought I'll probably answer this slightly in depth. I'll show you what question we received. So this is the question we received on some comment. The question says, I've recently completed 12th standard and now I'm preparing for, just a minute. I've completed 12th standard and now I'm preparing to begin my undergraduate studies. I'm interested in building long-term career in core finance and would like your guidance on academic choices. So the first question that's being asked, and we get this very often, should I pursue a BCom or a BBA uh, or BSc economics or even statistics at times I get, and then what courses should I pursue along with it, right? Professional courses. So here's a very typical answer I give to these candidates, and I end up meeting with a lot of parents as well, right? So they'll ask me question on BCom versus BBA, and my typical answer is select the one which is cheapest. Okay, so I've seen syllabus of Pune University, and honestly, it's very uninspiring. So, for example, this BCom course in Pune University, which is taught for 3 years, I genuinely believe it's a 10-day, 15-day course. It's not more than that. So we at times give too much of unnecessary importance, especially within commerce for graduation, but it does not make big difference. Yeah, does the college make a difference? I would say yes. Okay, because I did my graduation in Symbiosis, and honestly, I feel like I learned a lot off campus rather than, or learned a lot, outside the classroom rather than inside the classroom. So if you can go to a good college where they have a lot of other activities and you participate in them, it helps you, gives you an opportunity to build a overall, personality, do a lot of extracurricular activities. But as far as curriculum is concerned, honestly, for me, BCom, BBA, all of them are same. If I had to go back and do my graduation again today, I chose BCom because that time there were very few choices. But if I had to go and select something for myself today, my preference would be I would have chosen something on statistics. And having a strong statistics foundation is very good for careers in finance as well, right? And as you guys know that a lot of careers are moving towards quant investing, use of AI, and at the end of the day, all of these are based on statistics. So statistics is a good base to have. Mathematics is a fantastic base to have. If there are programs available which will teach you, especially applied mathematics, I think that's a fantastic area to explore. If not, I would do a plain vanilla computer science graduation. I would choose that any day over BCom or BBA. Some basic learning in computer science will also come in very handy for financial careers. If not that, then maybe I will choose some program on economics, especially on econometrics. Okay, and econometrics again is a branch of statistics applied in finance. So these are my favorite or preferred areas of exploring graduation for commerce students, if these options are available. In terms of what courses to choose, it's kind of not that difficult. If you want to be in finance, I think you're looking at CFA and FRM as two possible opportunities after 12th. For most of the student, CFA makes a lot more sense simply because it keeps the options open. If you're looking at accounting, then you have plenty of options. I think CA is a fantastic course to explore. Then we have ACCA. I've heard mixed reviews. Some candidates have told me it's great. Some people have told me it's probably not worth it. So you can explore that. If you've already completed graduation and if you're eligible, you can explore US CPA. These are some of the options you have in accounting. If you want to try more towards management accounting, then you have a program called CMA. I'm not sure what the eligibility is, but you can look it up. Then in India, we have a company secretary, which is called CS, which is a very compliance, legal type of program. So if that's something that excites you, that's something you can definitely explore. Candidates who are pursuing CS, maybe pursuing law along with that would also be a fantastic option to look at, right? And if you have any questions after that, feel free to ask. Now, I teach CFA, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I genuinely believe that these are probably gold standard, right? If you CA and CFA, if you're inclined towards accounting, maybe CA is a good program for you to explore accounting, taxation front. If you're inclined towards finance, then maybe CFA is a fantastic option for you to explore. Some other questions. This is Jeet Shah. Says, I'm 20-year-old, completed Bachelor of Finance, have prepared for level 2, awaiting the result. As a recent graduate fresher, I'm seeking guidance on career options. Given my inexperience, considering whether to pursue a full-time job or an internship to gain exposure, I'm interested in equity research and mutual fund roles. I would appreciate insight on the type of roles available for level 2 candidate without salary range expected. All right. So it's very simple. You're a fresher. Finding a job right out of your campus is going to be tough. If you've not completed your graduation, finding a full-time job is impossible, right? So there's only one thing that you should explore, which is internships, right? And the whole idea of internships is you can experiment a little bit. So you don't have to go very specific. For example, if you get some internship in some risk management division, why not, right? Spend a few months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year maybe, and try to learn tricks of the trade. The stipend for internships varies anywhere from, I mean, we've seen some cases in Pune where, employers have offered 5K, which, but we've had seen cases where employers have offered 5K. Some of the stipends can go even up to 25K. Typically, you're looking at a median of somewhere in the range of 12 to 15,000 per month. That's your stipend, not a salary. Whether you're level 1 cleared, level 2 cleared, honestly, employers don't really care much. Okay, in their head, the way they think is that this candidate is making progress towards CFA charter. So for you, you think level 2 is, for you, it makes a big difference. For employees, is the same. So simple strategy: look for internships, get some experience, and then decide, once you have some experience, then decide what roles you want to pursue your career in. Pranav, I've heard about financial engineering or quantitative finance. Many of them are pursuing masters. I want to know what work does financial engineering do in different form of analysis, whether I should pursue engineering, should I do core finance courses like CFA? All right. Pranav, financial engineering is kind of a fancy word for quantitative finance. It's not significantly different. See, at the end of the day, a lot of areas within finance require significant modeling, right? Now, it's a little technical, but you can Google this. There are products in the US market called CMOs or CDOs. A lot of these products require structuring in terms of how do you, so think of it as if you're a chef or if you're a cook and you're trying to make, I don't know, khichdi in India, right? And in order to get a particular flavor out of the food that you're cooking, you have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion, right? That's what we're trying to do when we're trying to build a financial product. In order to achieve desired features, we need to throw in a bunch of smaller financial assets together. A lot of that is financial engineering. Quant guys are also picked up heavily by hedge funds in the US if you go to a reputed school. So those are good areas you can explore. Plus, there is a branch of finance called structured finance, okay, which is again, it's like I'll take a loan, but there will be a limit, and it will be not a fixed rate loan, but a floating rate loan. But there would be a limit on how much interest I will pay on the higher side, but there can be a limit of minimum interest I pay on the lower side. A lot of this is part of structured finance, which is again, financial engineering or quant. And if your question is, should I pursue this course or should I do CFA? I would recommend do both. Okay, CFA will definitely come in handy because it will help you build base for a lot of finance careers. Think of CFA as a program that gives you a holistic understanding of what finance is across the domain. And then some quantitative finance layering on top of it, masters will provide excellent opportunities. Viraj, current situation of job market is very difficult. Everyone is asking for experience. What should I do? Internships. That's the only way out. Luckily, we have seen, in fact, if you are part of FinTree, you must have noticed we are posting a lot of internship opportunities now. And that has happened because, Viraj, earlier, CFA program was meant for working professionals, right? So even in my classroom, average age of CFA level 1 candidate used to be 27, 28. Now the average age in my classroom is maybe 20. So a lot of freshers in the market, a lot of candidates who have not even finished graduation, but internship is a fantastic way to enter the market. I've done multiple videos in the past on how to generate opportunities. Look that up. What are the opportunities for PSU banking professionals? I wouldn't know. I don't have a lot of understanding of uh, the internal promotion within PSUs. I think you have to take some exams. But some cases that I know of my students is most of these banks will have their risk division, which is typically your head offices, right? It could be market risk, credit risk, a centralized risk division. These banks will also have treasury departments. Some of them will also have product departments. Any of these areas for finance professionals are great areas to explore. Most of the banks have their private wealth setup as well now, right? Or a wealth management setup. You can also explore that. Roadmap for private wealth, portfolio management, package of experience needed, use of AI to start business around it. Okay. Kushal, something that I learned just this week. We had a few people from Julius Bar visiting FinTree office, and I was having conversation with them on what's happening in the wealth management industry. Everyone is extremely bullish about the space. Okay, and I learned something interesting, that a good quality RM with sizable experience, the salary in Mumbai is somewhere in the range of 80 lakhs per annum. And I was also surprised that, and I'm not talking about private wealth, I'm talking about the wealth management business. That means not necessarily ultra HNI. So if you're someone who's very skilled in this business, I think, and you have a few years of experience, I won't be surprised if you reached at these kind of levels. It's definitely doable. And what's the use of AI? I think there's a lot of use case in variety of different ways: marketing, product designing, distribution. Look for this concept called AI agents. Search a little bit. There's good material available on Y Combinator website. That could be a good starting point for you to research. All right, this I've answered before, so I'm going to skip through these questions and go to live YouTube now. So I'm reading YouTube chat box. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, feel free to post it on the chat box now. Okay, I've got one question, which is Google OK. Which degree we can get for foundations of stock market? I don't know, Google OK, if there are degrees available, but I think I think you can probably read a few books. I think start with something like Peter Lynch, maybe that would be a good book for you to explore, and just internet, YouTube. FinTree has a level 0 course. We've very good coverage on basics of equity markets. You can look that up. It's free of cost. It's available on FinTree websites. You can have a look there. Utkarsh, how big is the market for PMS in where is that question? Okay, that question disappeared. So that's fine. Trend burst. Graduated this year. I have an offer for operation analyst in IB, cleared level 1. I know it's not core finance, but what do you think? I don't like operation roles. I've spoken about this multiple times. If I were to start my career, I would avoid any role that requires, which is more of a KPO role, or requires, operations, clearing, settlement type of roles, reconciliation roles. I would kind of stay away from them. Niche. Why CFA Institute helps in direct placement like CA or Tier 3 MBA in India? You mean why not, right? So Nishay, CFA Institute in fact does have a career portal. I've never seen it, but I've heard candidates applying for roles there. Uh, why do they not help with placements? I don't know. I think they should, and maybe they will, but I don't know why they don't do it at the moment. All right, Utkarsh has asked a good question. I'd like to answer that in detail. So let me just pull up his question on my screen. All right, this is the question. I'm assuming my screen is visible. How big is the market for PMS business in Pune, right? Okay. So first thing, Utkarsh, PMS is portfolio management services, and I'm sure you know that, but for the audience, and you see, when you set up a PMS business or any asset management business, you're not necessarily restricted to one geography, right? And a good example of that would be in Pune we have Sage One, which is run by Samit Vartak. Then we have Oakland Capital, uh, I think Kuntal Shah. Then we have Jeevan Bhai's PMS, Sahasar Capital, I guess. These are some of them that I know, and I'm sure there are many more. Now, Sage One, if I remember correctly, is about 6,000 odd crore PMS, right? Oakland probably is same. I don't know. I think we also have Purnartha, which I forgot, right? Purnartha has a PMS by themselves. Wealth Managers has a PMS by themselves. Uh, Oakland probably 5,000-6,000 crores. I don't know. Jeevan Bhai should be about 1,000 crores. I don't know the numbers. I'm just guessing, right? So these are sizable PMS because you're not just because you're running your shop in Pune doesn't mean you cannot have a client from Kolhapur or Bangalore or Chennai. The whole country is open to you. So that way, if you're running a good scheme, you have good fund manager, you have a decent track record, money will chase you. How should I plan my next few years considering I have relevant work experience in PMS? I want to establish a PMS business. Just run the tricks of the trade, Utkarsh. Um, Make sure that you have fantastic research skills. Make sure that you know how to design the portfolio, and very importantly, make sure you have good connects with the clients. Honestly, today PMS is become a very competitive space. If you're a fresher, all these large distributor, they will not touch your product, right? For example, imagine if I were to start a PMS and I had 10 years of experience and a track record, I can go to guys like Edelweiss or IFL and Motilal, and I can tell them, hey, can you please distribute my product, right? So they will get you the clients and you pay them some distribution fee. But if you're a fresher, most of the big guys will not touch you, right? So you need to have a few years of experience. But if you have your own client network, especially at minimum, what you need is one anchor investor, someone who's willing to put in 100, 200, 300 crores into your PMS on day zero. And if you can have that kind of an anchor investor, then I think it's the journey after that is relatively easier. So build connects, learn the research work, and then set up your PMS and try and build a track record. SEBI compliance is also complicated, so you also need to be mindful of that. The minimum net worth requirement, I think, has changed. Now your net worth needs to be at least 5 crores. So all those areas need to be evaluated very carefully. Okay. All right. What else? Let me come back to YouTube again. Let's see if you have any questions on the chat box. Ninja, why does celebrity fund manager keep getting large AUM despite several underperformance? Purnartha, Marcellus, Basant, Maheshwari. Okay, very interesting. Okay, again, I'm guessing my screen is visible to you. Now, so question is, why do celebrity fund managers keep getting large AUM despite severe underperformers or so on and so forth? Okay. See, I would not comment on these guys. And one important comment I would like to make here is, if you have underperformance for a few quarters or a few years, does not make you a bad fund manager. Okay, you need to understand that equities by very nature is a non-linear product. Okay, which basically means you will have a couple of years which are probably not great, but doesn't mean your stock picking was not good. It just means that probably you did not participate in the hype. I'm not defending any of these guys, but I'm saying I would never select a mutual fund or a PMS just by looking at the past performance, because past performance is no guarantee. I think I would rather look at something like a consistency of performance. But having said that, why do some of these guys have large AUM? It's a very simple answer, because at least I know two of them that they have a large marketing and distribution channel. Okay. Like we finance students, right? When we are evaluating funds, we focus a lot on how the portfolio is structured, uh, what stocks, what's the P ratio and whatnot. But I think in order to be successful in this business, you have to have a very good distribution of your product, because manufacturing is just one part of it. Imagine you have the best portfolio design in the world, but no one knows about it. No point doing it, right? So, so Purnartha, I know for a fact, has a very huge relationship manager, kind of a large army of people on the ground trying to sell their products. Marcellus is established. I mean, they have a lot of media coverage. Basant Maheshwari is a, famous YouTuber. So I'm sure, and very popular with decades of records. So he has his own track record. Same with Helios, right? So much of media coverage. So that makes distribution relatively easier. And a lot of these people, their products are also distributed. Again, I don't know for a fact, but generally a lot of their products are also distributed by intermediaries and a lot of this wealth manager. So that helps them get larger AUM, right? And again, that's why I'm saying, just being a good research analyst or a good stock picker is not good to run a PMS or an AIF business. You also have to have an equally strong marketing, distribution strategy, or a team involved doing that. And in fact, I would say in the long run, your returns matter, right? In the long run, your performance of the fund will matter. But at least in the interim term, 2, 3, 4 years, you'll have to spend a lot of time on marketing. I've seen Iman, some of the celebrity fund managers, when they set up their shops, they would actually do some sort of a road show where they'll travel across the country, meet all the large investors and try to garner some AUM from them. So something that you need to be aware of on that front. Okay. All right. I'll take last two questions now. Pratik is asking, how does debt syndication work? Is it monotonous? Is it possible to enter it with C? Okay, wait a minute. I'll put you on the screen. All right, my screen should be visible to you now. So Pratik, I'll just, for the benefit of audience, I'll quickly explain what debt syndication is. So imagine you're setting up a large power plant, okay, and let's say you need to raise maybe 1,500 crore rupees, okay. Now what you do is you go to a bank and you tell them, hey, would you be willing to give us a loan? The bank will say that the size of the loan is too big for our book, so we would not want to fund the entire amount. So typically someone, here an intermediary would be involved. This intermediary will in turn connect with maybe 3-4 different banks, right? So let's call it as a bank 1 and bank 2, or lender 1, lender 2, lender 3, lender 4. There would typically be a lead syndicator. So let's say this is a lead investor, right? And then these would be co-investors. And then maybe the deal would be that, this investor will put in 750 and remaining 3 will put in 750, right? That's what typically a syndication structure is. Is this monotonous? I don't think so. And most of the cases, because I'll tell you why. If you're involved, if you're this middleman here, right? Every time you want to raise money for a particular deal, you need to study what's happening in this power plant, what kind of projections they're making. And then you need to also convince a bunch of investors, bring them on board. That's how you generate your revenue or your fees here. So I feel it's a good opportunity. I think it's also less competitive compared to your traditional equity research, and this is a part of larger umbrella of investment banking. And in order to get in, you'll have to network, right? I mean, it's not that these guys who are doing this business are searching for CFA folks. They're searching for someone who's street smart and can talk the language and close the deals. So CFA is definitely an advantage, but not necessarily the only thing that will get you in. Network a lot, find your opportunities, and get into one of them. We have a lot of students working in this domain, and I've heard only good things from them. All right, back to YouTube. Last question of the day. So kindly post all the questions. I'll probably select one and try and answer it. I'm taking a 20 seconds break so that you can quickly post whatever questions you have on your mind. All right, I think I really like, okay, I'll take Kunal's question, which will be the last question. Whatever questions I'm not able to answer today, feel free to post them on the comments of this video. I'll definitely try and answer them next week. All right, so here we go. Kunal is asking, what should I prefer as a fresher to break in big firms of IB and PE1, complete all levels of CFA with a non-finance job, a tier 1 MBA. I'm a fresh grad from IIT Bombay, qualified CFA level 1. Kunal, it's a no-brainer. If you want to work with the true large ticket IBs or PE, all of them have preference for MBAs, right? So it's a no-brainer that MBA will definitely be helpful if it's a tier 1 MBA. And tier 1, it's in India, is mostly we're talking about the top 4 or top 5 IIMs, nothing beyond that, right? So your IIM, ABC, and I don't know, a couple of others. Anything below that, probably your opportunities are reducing. CFA as an add-on will definitely help, and some sort of a relevant experience will be even better rather than a non-finance job. So some relevant experience or even some strategy experience. Okay, so either you work, screen visible nahi? Sorry, I think I did not share my screen. Let me do it now. Okay, visible now or no? Let me check just a minute. Nahi hota, just 1 minute. Okay, I think it should be visible now. Visible? Can you confirm if the screen is visible now? Okay, so anyways, you can still hear me. So some strategy experience I think will be very, very useful, Kunal. So look for strategy roles in corporates, uh, or alternatively look for, if you're going for startups, look for founders office roles. Okay, these are fantastic roles, especially if it's a startup that is already beyond the seed stage, right? Maybe someone who's planning to do a series A or a series B in the next few months. So look for a medium size, like not a very early stage, but slightly more mature startup, and see if you can find a founder's office role, a strategy role. I think all of these would be fantastic roles to explore. Integrate yourself in a startup ecosystem and a tier 1 MBA and a CFA, whatever levels you can pass. I think this is a fantastic way to approach your career right now. All right, with this, I'll wrap up the session for this week. I hope you found it useful. As usual, I will be meeting you next week, same time, and try and answer as many questions as I can. All the questions that I could not answer today, feel free to put it on the comments once the video gets live, and then I will try and answer them on the subsequent week. Okay, so thank you very much. You guys have a good one. We'll connect with you next week, same time.